if you are new to the country, United States, Canada, and some other countries, and you have to deal with financial institutions, and they tell you about your credit score, and you're told that you cannot borrow money because you don't have a credit score in the country, and you think, but how I'm supposed to borrow money? I just came to the country, so I need the money now. I can't just wait. So I've been through that filtering system 20 something years ago when I moved to Canada, and it was annoying because when we allowed to immigrate to Canada, we assumed that the Canadian government had a very strict filter system, like only worthy people were allowed to move to Canada. So the Canadian embassy in the country I came from checked my credentials, my financials, everything. And my assumption was that, like, okay, I'm worthy. I moved to Canada. If I need some money to do something, start a new life or something like that, yeah, I can go to the bank, and based on the credentials from the immigration department, I can just ask for $2,000 or something like that to pay my second month of rent or whatever expenses I may have. But it was not the case. I was told that I don't have a credit score and I have to build my credit. And I thought, oh, so how to build my credit when I need some money to go to buy stuff, so I build my credit? It's kind of a silly. So I found a way to start building my credit, which was kind of silly, but so I had to invest in a credit card. So I paid upfront $1,000, and then I got a credit card. My own money was locked into that credit card, so I can purchase using my own card, but at the same time the Visa company was making profit or some sort of a margin out of my own money. So they will make money at every opportunity. So that was no big deal. Let's say they made $50 off me, that's okay. But they caught me in as a customer. Of course, at some point I had to get into borrowing more money, and they made money off me as same thing. I think it was 21% at the time. Then I found a lower interest rate Visa card or credit card, and I got rid of that because I realized these guys are just taking advantage of the newcomers, and not only newcomers, people who need to borrow money but they don't have a good credit score or no credit score, so they lend you money with the highest interest possible, like 21% or 24 is now, I guess. So you are being taken advantage of. So that's okay, kind of, you know. You got to the country, you have to participate or contribute somehow, so your hard work or your money helps the banks, and the banks pay tax, and the tax help the governments to build roads, hospitals, and all that stuff. So the money kind of stays in, except the money that goes to war in different countries and feeding the war in countries we don't need to go. But that's a different story, and those are politics. Now, what I'm talking about now is this credit score, credit check agencies working hand in hand with the banks or financial institutions. Probably they don't want people to call banks, because bank is kind of related to the sharks who used to lend money in the past, but later became official, like a more organized, more regulated, and now they are lending money as an institution instead of being just an individual shark somewhere with a small kind of a storefront where you can get your loan till you get your paycheck. And so now it's like a more sophisticated scheme that is regulated and is working hand in hand with other financial agencies that come up with rules and regulations how you should spend your money and how should you live your life, because if you use money, that means it affects the way you live your life. So credit score agencies, in Canada you have Equifax, you have TransUnion, and I think there are 2-3 more of those. One side story about my credit check with TransUnion. I had 2 files in my name, 2 files, and of course I asked what's going on. I am on one person, one SIN number. If you don't know what SIN number, if you are new to Canada, a social insurance number. So it's one social insurance number but 2 files. What's that? I haven't checked with those people for 16-17 years, because this is, to me, it's like some people who think that they know finances and stuff, and they hire some cheap agents to do data entry, do customer service, and take calls and stuff like that. And they try to save money here and there, so their profits are bigger. Probably that's one of the reasons I got 2 files. I don't have another explanation, because professional financial companies should have a better accounting system. But I'm telling you, I'm not making up stuff, and that's why I mentioned I have no fear to say it was TransUnion who had these 2 files in my name. And let me park my car here. I have to go to a place, and now there is another one. It's called Equifax. When I inquired about my credit score, I always had a good credit score, not excellent, but good. But what I'm trying to say here and conclude my recording, if you have, let's say, yes, I have a few more minutes till my appointment. If you have not a line of credit, but let's say you have a line of credit and you have a credit card, but you always keep it almost to the top, or almost maxed out, the way people use here as a term. Nobody tells you, the bank won't tell you, nobody tells you, the credit agency won't send you a letter telling you, you know what, if you have your credit card almost maxed out, like you have only 5% left, so you can borrow only 5% till you reach your credit limit. Nobody tells you that actually is going to affect your credit score. It's going to impact your credit score. So if you never check your credit score, at some point you realize, I never been late with my payments, I never missed a payment. What's going on? Why my credit score is not super perfect? But one thing, it's these loans that they expect you to pay off, and I've been through that with my line of credit, and I assume that, you know what, I don't bother to reduce my debt, because the banks never complain about that, because the banks make more interest off me. So the banks suck more blood off my hard work, and they make more. So I was negligent, and I said, oh, you know what, yeah, I pay this much money in interest fee every month. I don't like it, but this is the way I organize my finances. And then I got a letter from the bank saying that they increased my interest rate, and I thought, oh, it was like a 16% at the time. I said, whoa, I started at 10% and now 16 is like a few years later 16. Why is that? Because if you increase this interest rate, I'm having hard time to pay my loan. So if you want your money back, you should help your clients to lower the interest rate. So I had to argue with the customer service, which was an agent who didn't give a crap about my arguments. It's an agent, it's a robot getting paid to do and follow the rules. So I got that. But they reduced. So I complained, and I went to talk to another agent or manager. I forgot, that was a couple of years ago, and they dropped the interest rate like a 2% or something. I said, you know what? I need some help to lower my debt here. So if you don't help me, if you actually punish me, because I consider that punishment when I was close to the top of my limit, they jacked up the interest rate, saying that I'm a liability or something like that, some stupid argument. And I said, you know what, this is a punishment. It's like I'm having even harder time to pay off my credit line. What type of system is that? And also the credit companies get a report that you are at the top, so you get punished in two ways, like interest rate, at least in my case, or maybe your financial institution is a bit nicer. So interest rate hike and a credit score. Also, I don't think it lowered my credit score, but it did not go as high as expected for a person who always pays on time. I never missed a payment. Actually, I missed a payment. I think I was out of the country or something like that. I forgot, but I had a forgiveness because I never been late. So in case you didn't know that, at least the bank I deal with, I had one forgiveness at that time, because the whole year or the years before I never had an incident not paying on time. So I think I don't know, missed the payment like a couple of days or something like that. So now back to the credit agencies. So the bank is sending me for some time, it's sending me an offer to increase my credit limit, and I thought, okay, it's tempting, but I know if I get more money, like the limit, more money available, so my limit goes higher, I'm tempted to do something. Like I'm not good with my finances, so I have to admit that. I'm not hiding that I have millions of dollars or something. I'm not bragging. This is who I am. And so they keep sending me emails, and even on the credit card app I see an ad popping up like you can increase your credit limit to this many thousands of dollars. Okay, so I keep ignoring it. But the thing is here, if you are, let's say you have a $5,000 credit limit, and you are at $4,500 for a number of years. Okay, that is going to affect your or impact your credit score in a negative way. And if you don't take the offer to increase your credit limit, yes, it's going to affect. So you have to push yourself to pay off that debt. But if you take the offer, then you are their fish. So you grab the bait, and you increase your chance to get into a deeper debt. Especially during uncertain times, during the recession, or maybe you have some family issue or something like that, then since you have this available credit, then you get into it. So what I'm saying here, the credit agency and the banks work hand in hand. So if you are close to the top, to the limit of your credit card, you get dinged on your credit score, suggesting that you should always borrow more money. Of course, you should always pay, but they help you by borrowing more money, so you somehow increase your limit. So the system is crafted in a way that it makes you think, oh, I should increase my credit limit so I stay away from being maxed out, so it won't affect my credit score. But actually this is a scam for me. From my perspective, it's a scam, because they want you to increase that credit limit so you fall into the trap and you spend more. And no wonder so many like millions of Canadians are dealing with debt. So leaving you with some thought about that. Talk to you later. Bye bye.